Now, let me start off by saying that I am not an American citizen, okay? I do not reside in America. I've been to America many times, and I've got good friends in America. I like the country. It's a great country, and it's contributed greatly towards a lot of positive things in this world. But I want to focus on the e-files that's been released recently, because the whole world, 8 billion people, are looking at the United States of America. And I have to be honest, for the greatest part, we are shaking our heads in absolute disgust. Now, I know when it comes to the e-files, it's a global network. I know the tentacles of this runs into multiple governments around the world and elites, etc. But to a great extent, it's focused on the United States of America. So I'm going to speak in that context. Now, I went through some of the documents released by the DOJ on the e-files, and I have to say I am absolutely shocked. I don't have words to describe the atrocity, the wickedness, the evil, the out of the pit of hell realities that I've been reading and seeing in the e-files. Now, we knew about these files. We knew all these things have been going on from, I don't know how it was in America, but outside of the United States, we've been following that. I've been following this for years. And we know that what has been happening on that little island is wicked and it's evil. And I think those of you that have been exposed to the latest releases are almost in a state of cognitive dissonance. Like you don't know how to reconcile what you're reading and what you're seeing with life and how you thought life was actually run, how life operated, what reality was around you. Because now you discover what you thought was real is not real. What you trusted in, you can't trust in it anymore. And people are in a transition where I think a lot of people, as they are exposed to the atrocities recorded in the e-files, they are going to begin to question everything that they see, everything they hear, because things are falling apart. And it's falling apart very, very fast. And people are waking up at a very fast tempo. And they're asking questions. And it's good questions. And they want accountability. And they should have accountability. And there should be people answering to this. And there should be consequences to everyone who were involved in the e-files. If your name is there, you need to be investigated to the deepest levels. We're going to drain the swamp. Now the swamp is being handed on a silver platter, yet now the swamp is being protected. Now let's move on to something else. Let's focus on the economy and forget about thousands and thousands and thousands of children that were brutally and eaten and things done to them that is so inhumane that it deserves a room in the very chambers of hell. Someone on the outside looking in, this is a joke. What a complete display of deceptive lies cloaked in willful incompetence. And you know what gets me the most probably? Is the silence of the churches. Where is the uproar? Isn't the church supposed to stand for that which is just and right, according to the character and the nature of Christ? And yet you stay silent on topics like this, and then you wonder why people are leaving churches in droves and why more and more mega churches are falling because of corruption and immorality and things like that. It's happening because the church is not fulfilling its purpose. And you have people in the world, unsaved, that are more adamant in seeing justice happening than most churches in the United States of America. When in the world you're going to wake up? Then you get senators and you get congressmen who can look at the files unredacted and they see more information and they come out and they say, oh, you must see how bad this is. This is really terrible. It's much worse than we thought, whatever. But what are they doing about it? Nothing. I think maybe the average American, or those that have seen the files, are beginning to realize that it's not about Republican and Democrat. They're all the same. You don't have a choice there. They are all one, doing the same things. They just speak differently, take a little bit of a different avenue, but it all leads to the end, the same end goal at the end of the day. I'm thinking about the words of President Vladimir Putin. And you know what? After seeing the latest files, he is right. He's absolutely right in what he said. Putin said that the problem with Western leaders is that they have spent centuries filling their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money. But they must realize that this vampire ball is ending. It is. It's a vampire ball. And then I'm thinking about, where are the military veterans? Doesn't this bother you? Weren't you willing to give your life for your country? Didn't you take an oath that said you would protect your country against enemies both foreign and domestic? What do you think this is? Where are the vets? Where's Delta Force? Where are the Navy SEALs? Where are the Marines? Where are the churches? Where's the outcry? You do know that you've been infiltrated by a flesh-eating, satanic, worshipping terrorist network that might not be labeled as such, but believe me, it's a spiritual terrorist network that is ripping your country into shreds. And so the world is paying attention. And we cannot believe the apathy that we are seeing from the land of the free and the home of the brave. It's not that land anymore, except if those who stand for justice and righteousness and what is good and pure and holy will arise and fix this, because the degree of wickedness and evil is so intense that the average human soul struggles to process this. And if you don't really care about this, you know what you can do? Go and buy yourself some beef jerky and eat your beef jerky and see where your country is going to end up. No human soul, no Homo sapien is okay with this. What are you going to do, people of America?